TommyKay live thinking about joining the military before going to uni. Any advice, recommendations? What country are you from, Bubblegum? What country are you from? What country are you from, man? There's certain countries where going to the military makes sense, but there's also a lot where it doesn't make sense. I'm from Australia. Why would you join the military in Australia? Why? Look, man, Bubblegum, if you like to listen to your idol TommyKay, I personally have the experience or opinion that you shouldn't go to the military. It's a waste of time. You should spend your time getting educated and a good degree at university and have a nice life. Love girls. To me, it's a waste of time, in my opinion. I always said this, and I know I offend so many viewers with this. You should only go to the military if you have no other options. If you're kind of too dumb for real life, then the military is very good for you. I just always want to be honest. That's my own personal opinion, what I've seen in Germany. Everyone in the German army was such a loser to me, and they were just useless, man. They weren't even real soldiers. If there was a real war, I wouldn't even know what the fuck to do. Do you think I got more discipline in the army? Not really, no. I learned in the army to survive without my mom. That, yeah, sure. For 9 months in the German army, it was a fucking joke, man. It was a complete joke, and they gave me way too much money. In the last month, you get double the money. I got 3,000 euros for nothing! For jerking off all day playing Call of Duty 1. It's a fucking joke. Every army guy I've ever met has been a bit of a loser. I respect them for doing it, but army does something to your head. It's a touchy topic. I don't want to offend people. Like, I love Benz. And if you have a good living in the army and shit, right? But my personal experience, man, maybe I wasn't a shit unit. I always said if I maybe was in a good unit that actually did real stuff, like people that will go to Afghanistan soon or something, it would be a bit more serious. But my army unit was the dumbest shit I've ever seen, man. It was such a waste of potential and money. I'm currently a weapons mechanic in the Dutch Navy. Will be a corporal in 1.5 months. I'm getting a lot of education and courses and blah blah blah. And that's maybe where I'm wrong. Thank you, Admiral. If you actually get to the officer courses of the army where they pay for university, clever, man. You leave the army with a degree and stuff, sure. Maybe that's probably cool, I guess. I'm leaving the army with a truck license. I'm not doing my crane operator course. So, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. As I said all the time, my own personal experience. That's probably fine. I just always felt like... I just feel like if you're a young, like me, okay? If you're young, bright-minded, if you have potential and you're clever, you're 16, 17, 18 years old, I personally think you will benefit from university much more. You're gonna have a nice life, you're gonna be home, you're gonna date girls, you go to the club, man, you're gonna get a nice degree. I just think if you have the potential, if you have potential, it's better used in the civil life, I feel like. What happens if you're not ready for university? Well, then also army is probably good. You know what? I see how I'm probably wrong here. I'm going. You need to get officer rank being in the army, where I'm pretty sure. I see that I'm probably wrong here because I have a big opinion. When you leave school, where you mostly are 18, you shouldn't rush to university because you're still too young to know what you want in life. I have seen it all my life. Thousands of people rush to university. I want that degree, but after 2 years they realize I don't want to do this, I want to do something else. They wasted all the time. One thing I learned, which is maybe a cool tip for all you young guys, is when you leave school, take your time. Maybe go for a year to the army, maybe. Take 1 year off, work and travel, have a fucking, I don't fucking know. Do something, but let your mind settle and figure out what the fuck you want. Because we live in a society where everybody thinks, degree, I need to make money, I need to study law and economics. But you're gonna get depressed from that shit. You're gonna feel like you don't want that. And if you let your mind settle a bit and realize maybe that's where going to the army is good, you're gonna go to university much more educated, more bright-minded, more adult. The girls love that. If you are if you're 21 when all the girls are 18 in the first year of university, brah, mashallah, you know? I spent 10 years in law school, man, and I hated it. It was stupid. I think my life would have been very different if I actually studied what I wanted, which is, I don't even know, a video gaming class. I don't fucking know. I was always a big fan of space, and my dream was to work for the European Space Association and look for planets and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But one day, reality knocked at my door. I was researching the Astronomical University in Berlin, which is the best in Germany, I think, back then. And I was looking at what it looks like, and it was literally just mathematics and physics. Just formulas every day, and I would have just been eaten life. And that's where real life knocks at your door, you know? If you want to become an astronomer and look at the fucking stars and find aliens, that's not how it works. You need to know fucking high-level mathematics, which I don't. I would have been eaten alive, man. I would have no chance. I want to do something with history. I don't have idea what though. Well, you could study history. But the problem is, once again, real life is a thing that a lot of young people don't know about yet. I didn't know about it for a long time. real life. And the problem is when you study Japanology because you like anime so much, you're not gonna find a job. You either become a doll mentor or you fucked. There's a lot of degrees that just don't mean shit. There's a lot of degrees that don't do anything. I study philosophy and history. Good for you. If you don't get a fucking job at the university, yeah, literally, if you don't get a job at university, you're fucked, man. You are fucked. You gotta get lucky to find a job or something, like a museum or some shit. And that's reality. If you have an economics degree, a law degree, medical degree, dude, you can do millions of jobs, right? But if you study fucking philosophy and the political science and poetry of the French Republic in the 1800s, you're probably gonna end up as the CEO of your local McDonald's, which probably is a good job. Being the leader of a local McDonald's, you probably make good money. I just want to be a janitor. You guys remember back in school that the janitor lived in school? I totally forgot that. The janitor lived in school, man. Aren't basically all people with higher degrees, even the shit ones, outperforming those on average? I have no idea. I don't know about this. But here's my point. Listen to the 31-year-old Tommy who was 10 years in law school. Here's my final advice, the old man. I know some people look up to me. You fucking retarded looking up to me, by the way. There's two ways you can go after school. You can follow the money way or the soul way. What do I mean? The money way is you're 18 and you're like, oh, what should I study? And you look at these papers. Ah, look at this. I can study law and become a lawyer. Economy is very nice. Yeah, everybody needs economists. Human resources management, that makes a lot of money. And that's the money way. You study something that you only do to make it in life, to get good money. But there's a high chance of you getting depressed. You don't like it, right? And you one day sit in a law office having a shitty job where people shit on you, but hey, at least you can buy a cool car. Good for you. But then there's something I haven't seen. I didn't see before, and that is the soul way. The way of the soul. You come out of school and you check, what are my hobbies? What are my hobbies? I'm really into history. I watch this TommyKay guy a lot, and I'm kind of a virgin. I like history. So I could study history, have a shit ton of fun, but not make as much money as a lawyer. And that is the soul way. And one thing I learned in life, boys, and now that I'm surrounded, my friends and people around me are now 30, right? And I realized something. The soul way is the much better way. Number one, the soul way means you get good grades. If you love history and you study history, you're going to get good grades. If you study law, even though you don't care about law, you're not going to get good grades. It is much easier to learn something if you fucking give a shit, right? And then later in your job, maybe you don't get 50K a fucking month like a lawyer, but at least you're happy. Every day you go to work and you're happy. You never really work because you're happy all the time. You love your job and you did what you wanted with your life. And I think that's something the new generations, the millennials and the zoomers are realizing now. You don't need no Ferrari. You don't need a fucking mansion in Miami. You don't need the biggest house ever. What you fucking need in this day and age is happiness. In a world full of war and corruption and hate and death, is what you need is happiness. And maybe following the soul way is just a better way. People are realizing it now. Young people realize it left and right. And that would be my advice, to look at the soul way. Rich man speaking. What does that have to do with anything? You complete weirdo. Also, you are so weird. I can build up Cameroon a bit. Cameroon will be known as Cameroon. Okay, I'm building up Cameroon. Opinion about police officer job. I don't fucking know. If you're happy, thank you, Zoe, for the 10. I have way too many questions left, man. Thank you very much, Zoe. TED Talk moment. Thank you, Zoe. Appreciate it. Zoe, you're... You know, Zoe chose a soul job. Gifting subs to TommyKay. Thank you, man. So yeah, I wanted, if you're happy in the military, then I take that back. Maybe I'm always too arrogant about the military. That is my advice to you guys. Look for the way of the soul, the way of happiness and love. Because trust me, man, when you have a Lamborghini and a great mansion and a model wife, you will realize that shit is fucking nothing, man. That shit is nothing. Everything Andrew Tate is trying to sell you is wolf tickets, man. It's nothing. It's emptiness. It's complete emptiness, bro. My dad is making 60K a month as a lawyer at the expense of working 85 hours a week. A lot of my friends, one of my best friends is a high-level lawyer who knows a lot about the lawyer meta. And yeah, you join a big law firm and you work your fucking ass off. You drive a nice car. You're rich as fuck, but you have fucking burnout by the time you're 40 and you want to fucking kill yourself. And also, what color is Lamborghini? I personally believe if your biggest goal in life is to get a Lamborghini, then I don't know, maybe you gotta reconsider your fucking life goals. If you become a surgeon, for instance, even if you went the soul way, you will still work 80 hours a week, lol. But at least you love what you're doing. That's something I realized, man. Look, I'm not stupid. I realize it's a very privileged position to love your job. But the #1 life hack The #1 life hack I learned in life is, if you love your job, you don't work. You will wake up every morning and you are so happy, man. If you love your job, man, even if you make 20% less than your fucking neighbor, you are gonna be so happy, dude. That's if you can, and it's hard, I know that, it's a privileged position. If you can somehow reach a point in your life where you love your job, bro, you are so ahead in life. You beat so many people in happiness, man.